Hey guys, standing with Bricks Minifigs, Sioux Falls. Today we're going to be looking at set 76224, Batmobile, Batman versus the Joker Chase. Set has 438 pieces, and we're going to be taking a deep dive into this August 1st release. So I'm going to crack this box open. We're going to get started on it. Just kidding, I already got it built. So let's just jump right in. We're good to go. So this thing rocks. I don't know if you have seen any other coverage of it, if you've checked it out, the Legos, product page. This thing is really wicked, and I'm super stoked to be sharing it with you guys. Like I had said in the intro, it came out August 1st, so it's pretty fresh off the press, and I am just super stoked to finally have the Tim Burton Batmobile. I mean, this thing is just glorious. Make sure to stick around for the end because I've got a lot of ending thoughts with this set. There's a lot to cover with it. So we're going to go ahead and jump into the build, and then we'll hit the figs, and we'll kind of just keep on rocking. So let's take a look at it. Don't expect Speed Champions level building techniques, okay? Because you will be disappointed. It's an A+ set. It really hits that mark. There's nothing too crazy here. There's not any super fun geometry, so to speak. When I think of, crazy geometry, one of my favorite Batmobiles was the Nolan Playscale one, where you had to build like the side windows in a really weird angle. So go into it expecting just a very run-of-the-mill Lego set. This thing is really cool though. I mean, there's tons here going on. And by tons, I mean really only like two things. You move the Batmobile and you get the back flame, right? That's pretty sweet. And then over here, and some people haven't been that big of a fan of it. To me, honestly, I don't really notice it because it's just black on black. But there's this little lever right there, that guy right there. And you flip that up and the guns pop out, which is pretty fun. I mean, that's, very par for the course what it was in the movie too. So it's nice to have that. And we'll be dropping a little bit of B-roll with the Batcave variant of this, so you guys can kind of see some side-by-sides, get a little bit of comparisons there. But I think for the most part, those type of play features are going to be the same. The top part, to get into it comes off. It's very simple. I enjoy the sideways building technique for the long windows. I think that looks really nice. It's just the Lego math. It all adds up really nice and looks cool. But I mean, other than that, it's very, there's trade-offs, right? I mean, it's the Batcave, the limited edition one, and this one. They all do things, but they all do things like similarly as well. Different and similar in just different aspects. But I think for the most part, it's very appealing to look at. I mean, don't get me wrong, you're looking at it right now. Look at it. It looks amazing. It's super cool. It's like the most iconic Batmobile of all time. But yeah, I don't know. It's just basic, There's nothing crazy about it, but that's okay, That not every set has to be shooting for the moon when it comes to crazy techniques. I think this one did a pretty good job with what it was trying to deliver. But yeah, let's move on to the minifigs. So, starting over here with Joker, closest to me. Looks great. I think the face leaves a little bit to be desired, and the lack of a second printing for him, that one kind of hurts. I think a more stoic, look, a more neutral or more irritated expression would have really worked, because there's a handful of times where Jack Nicholson's face is making that during the '89 movie. But, beggars can't be choosers. I'm super stoked to finally have one. And leg printing would have gone a long way. But honestly, the thing that could have gone the furthest was just like any accessory for him. You only get the handcuffs, and I'm like, that's not really an accessory, you know what I mean? There's not like a fight that can be had with that. I think he really needed like a Tommy gun or something, I just think he's a little boring and bland given his current condition. I mean, I guess he can like steal the Batmobile and that's his accessory, but that just kind of feels like a cop-out. But Batman, on the other hand, wow. They did really good job with him. I love the printing on the torso. I love the fact that it's the 1989, the weird bat symbol that goes out like that. I mean, it just looks great. The cowl I think it's only in 4 sets this year. One of them released July 1st, which was the Batcave. The other 3 being the August 1st sets, Batwing, and then the other like 4+ Batmobile, new dual molded cowl. This thing is really wicked. It's got the eyes already in there, so you get a standalone Batman head, which is great. He needs hair though, which I'm like, come on guys, we're halfway there. All you needed was just one hair. All of the 2022 Matt Reeves Batman, you know, they all had a head, a whole new head, or like at least like another head and hair. I'm like, where's that at? But guess not everybody gets that special treatment. And I believe this is the Shang-Chi head, which is cool. I mean, it works. It works pretty well for Michael Keaton, I'd say. As far as the likeness goes, I think it works, especially for his younger self. I think it does a good job. You get the single whole cape, nothing new there, standard black legs. But I think it's a really effective Batman, and I think it works really well for the 1989 interpretation of the character. I think both of the figs work really well. I just kind of stings about no accessories for Joker. Maybe the bang gun, really, he needed anything, you know what I mean? It's just, that one is, that's the one that you know, kind of sucks, but I'll find something to give him in my own personal collection then. But let's go ahead, let's check out closing thoughts. Try to sing Closing Time, and I think I might get copyright striked for that one if I let that one slide. So we decided to delete that one, and you guys don't have to hear me singing, but closing thoughts. $48? Ouch! Man, like, I would do it, and I'd do it again. Alright, I did it once, I'd do it again. But like, that's a lot, you know what I mean? You look at the 2022 Batmobile, the Matt Reeves one, that one was $30. You can find it on sale a lot of places for $24. And the Nolan one was $40, you know? And then the Adam West one I think was $30, $35. Correct me if I'm wrong in the comments, might have been $40, but those ones you got really killer interpretations of those minifigures from their respective movies. You got absolutely insane accessories, great builds, especially the Nolan one. I'm a 2000s baby, 1999 rep, you know what I'm saying? So that's the Batman I grew up with, was Christian Bale's. And that one, that Batmobile was so good. But I also loved 89. That's got a huge place in my heart too, don't get me wrong. But what I'm saying is this one just leaves a little bit to be desired, you know what I mean? Like, the building techniques aren't anything that's like revolutionary. It wasn't as like, I remember the first time I put that Nolan one together, and I'll never forget it. When you put those 2 side windows, man, that just blew my mind. So like with this one, there wasn't anything that was like, whoa, you know? It was just, all right, we're moving on, you know? One of my favorite things though, and this is totally nerdy, right here, these like fender pieces with the 2x2 tile there. It's the exact same build. Like, those 3 pieces and that type of configuration, that composition is the exact same way you build the fairing for the like old school original Batmobile that I had when I was a kid. And putting that together, I was like, whoa, this is nostalgia based, you know what I'm saying? But this thing's awesome. $48 is kind of hard, you know, that's a hard price point for a lot of people, and it could be a lot harder for parents trying to justify getting a Batmobile for that price. The figs are great. You know, it's cool to have the new dual molded cowl. I don't know if the sum of its parts are quite worth that price. If you're a diehard Batman fan though, pull that trigger, baby. This thing is so good. Dude, having this with the rest of them, or just as an 89 fan, I mean, this thing is so good. So I would hesitantly recommend, okay? I wouldn't if you're not a fan. You know, if you're not in love with the Michael Keaton and Tim Burton films, you know, Jack Nicholson's interpretation of Joker, like, if those aren't really your jam, you might want to miss out on this one, and that's okay. Not every set's for everybody, but if you're, you know, if you got $50 to burn a hole in your pocket, this is a pretty good way to do it. I'm just saying. But that's going to be my thoughts. I want to hear your guys's. Let me know in the comments. You know how this works. Let me know what you thought. Like, dislike, tell us how we did. Make sure to subscribe, please. It helps so much. You people have been so amazing to us, and we thank you so much for tuning in, you know, weekly, bi-weekly, monthly, whenever I get these out. It's awesome hanging out with you guys, and I'm just super stoked to have given you another review. So thanks so much again, guys. Take care.